Hey everyone, Sheila here from Lifewithpets. So we are in total chaos right now. We are in the process of setting up 11 tanks, and so I thought that I would get a sort of mid setting all these up video so that we have a before and after video. So if you want to see the process of all this, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. I will try and leave links where possible to things in the description box below if you want to take a look at anything that you see in the tanks. Alright, so let's go take a look at what we've been doing. So the first tank that we got that was new is this 40-gallon breeder, and somebody special is going in this tank. It isn't going to be divided. I'm so sorry for the glare guys, but it isn't going to be divided. We're actually making dividers for 40-gallon breeders, so this is one of the test dividers. We haven't actually put holes in this right now, but the test one has worked out really well. And so hopefully they will be on the website soon, or by the time this video goes up they may already be on the website. This is the dimensions of this tank, and when it is fully set up it isn't going to be divided. Somebody very special is going to get a brand new tank. We're also going to be adding shelving into the bottom there. And then we're also going to add a shelf across the middle, and then we're going to use storage cubes so it gives us a lot more storage. So for this space, really excited. We have a lid to go on the top as well. I do need to figure out lighting, we don't have that right now. And then we're going to do a shelf across the top here so that I can add my plants back in. So as we are at this little guy's tank, let's just let Belfin say hi. There he is. So this tank is probably going to be staying where it is, and of course Belfin is very excited because he thinks food is on the way. Every time somebody comes near the tank he just thinks food. This tank we probably are going to be breaking down and doing something else with. This is the one that has our female Daisy and our male that usually hides until he thinks food's coming. So if I tap, he might show himself. The lights have not long gone on. Oh, there he is in the back. I don't know whether you can see him, but that's our male there. And then we just have in the center, we are breeding some of the black bar N-class endlers. And there you can see the male there, and then we have some of our mystery snails growing out in this tank. So these two tanks, excuse the mess, right now we're in such a mess because we are adding 10 new tanks, and so obviously we're trying to figure out where everything's going to go, but these two are going to stay the same. This is our divided shrimp tank. If you're wanting to do a shrimp tank with different colours, then you can use our no holes divider, but it will need to be siliconed in place, which is what we've done with this one. And then we have blues on this side and the cherries on this side. And then in this tank here we have some beautiful guppy fry growing out. These are metallic nebula steel, and the males are absolutely stunning. They're only still very young, so obviously they're just getting their patterns, but they're in this tank, and this tank is going to be staying, so this is one that isn't going to have anything happen to it. So we've added these 5 tanks onto the 75-gallon stand. We broke down the 75-gallon and we have put 5 10-gallons on the end. Now we did have to make another top to go over the stand top because we wanted to fit 5 tanks in and it wouldn't fit the 5. So Adam made a black top, and I mean you can barely see the difference. It's this, you can see the jut out there, and we painted it black, and so it just looks like part of the stand now. As you can see, we are not set up yet. This is all the lids, the acrylic lids that we make for our tanks. So these have all been cut to size, but I haven't decided yet sort of where I want feeding holes and all that sort of thing. So they're still to be done. So as you can see, we've got a lot still to happen. These 3 tanks we do actually have the fish for. but they're not in the tanks yet because we are still obviously setting everything up. You can see the towel fish right there. And then these 2 tanks we are just in the process of setting up, so still a long way to go with these. There's some guppy grass in the back of that one, and yes, you guys are all seeing correctly, we have a male betta in with a ton of guppy males, and we've got no issues whatsoever. This tank will be getting more plants today, and then in the end one there we've just got our panda cories, and we've got water sprite in the back, and then we've got again some absolutely gorgeous guppies. So with all the filtration, what we've been doing is adding filters to our fully cycled tanks, which this is our 125 gallon. And so what we did was we added in 3 extra sponge filters, we kept them in for several weeks, and then we set up a few of the tanks. So now we have another 3 sponge filters in, and these will then set up some more of the tanks. So we have some sponge filters in other tanks as well. So that is a really quick way of being able to do an instant cycle. As you can see, some of the fish that were in the 75 are in here. So we have the school of African glass cats in here, and we also have our pygmy cories in here. So this is where the fish actually moved to from that tank. And then we did have a ton of guppies in the 75 gallon as well, and obviously they've gone into a lot of the new 10 gallons that we have got. So this tank isn't going to change any, other than for the fact that obviously we've added a few more fish into it. We are going to be adding in some of the plants that we took out of the 75 to fill in sort of some of the areas here. So we're going to be doing that in the next few days. So with these tanks right now, we do have sort of makeshift lighting. So the lights that we like to use are the Night Crew lights. I will leave a link to them in the description box below. But I have found these are excellent lights for 10 and 20 gallon tanks. I haven't used them on anything bigger, but they are excellent for those tanks, especially if you have plants. Absolutely fabulous lights. We've been using them for about 3 years now, and I absolutely love them. I think they're a very cost efficient light, and they do a great job. Not sponsored, by the way. So right now we have got one of those on here just so I can actually see the fish in here, and I do have a longer one from the 75 sort of across the back as well, to give lighting for the plants. Like I say, this is all makeshift. This is our valves that we use for sponge filters, so obviously we've got to set up more of those because we're going to do full sponge filters all the way along these tanks, and obviously they're run with air pumps. So we've set these 5 tanks up here. These are going to be strictly grow out tanks. So in this end one here we've got snails. This one at the moment we've not done anything with, it's just got all our surplus plants. This one we're in the middle of setting up. This one has a ton of fry in it, and also our blue ram's horns. This one's got our pink ram's horns, and it's got the koi tuxedo guppies, which are absolutely gorgeous. The females on those are beautiful. I will be doing in-depth tanks, sort of going through all of them in a video soon, so you will get to see exactly what is going on. I do apologize for the glare here. Unfortunately, where the tanks are, they're pretty close to a window, and it does get a glare on them. As you can see, we've got a lot going on here right now, and I can't wait to see sort of how all the tanks turn out. That a lot of the tanks are going to be pretty basic because we are using them for breeding. If you haven't figured out by now, then we are going into breeding lots of different types of guppies, and so we're going to have them eventually for sale on our website. So as you can see, we have been very, very busy. We've got a lot of work ahead of us. We also have a special fish getting a larger tank and potentially getting a girlfriend. So we are super excited about that. So if you want to see more videos from us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, the notification bell. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.